All right, so we're diving deep today, getting you prepped for that blacksmithing job interview. We got some amazing RoleCatcher resources to guide us, their career guide for blacksmiths, and of course their AI-powered interview guide. It's like we've got a master blacksmith and a career coach all rolled into one right here with us. Now you've mastered the hammer and the anvil, but how do you nail that interview? That's what we're here to figure out, forge your path to success, right?
Well, you know what's really cool about blacksmithing these days? It's so much more than just like brute strength, just pounding metal. It takes artistry. It's all about problem solving, a real deep understanding of how materials work. And those are the things that hiring managers, they're really zoning in on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And RoleCatcher's interview guide, it really gets into that. They've got 10 common interview questions, which is great, standard stuff. But they also give you these insights into what the interviewer is actually looking for with each question. But here's where RoleCatcher really goes a step further. They use AI to help you tailor your answers. Like if a job description really emphasizes those traditional forging techniques, the AI is going to be like, hey, make sure you highlight those skills in your answer. Pretty neat, huh?
It's super valuable, especially now. You can't just give generic answers anymore, not with how competitive the job market is. You really got to show them, not just that you have the skills, but that you get what they need specifically.
Totally, totally. So let's jump into these questions. This isn't about memorizing perfect answers, by the way. Think of it more as a way to reflect on your own experience and then craft an answer that really shows off your strengths. First one's the classic, right? Tell me about your experience with forging tools and weapons.
Oh yeah, this is your time to shine. Don't just rattle off a list of tools. Tell a story. What's something really challenging you forged? Like a crazy restoration project, or maybe you designed a custom tool that solved a specific problem. Walk them through it, the challenges, how you overcame them, what skills you used.
I was looking through RoleCatcher's career guide, and it's interesting. They really emphasize all the different specialties within blacksmithing, right? Ornamental ironwork, bladesmithing. So when you're answering this question, think about what you're most passionate about and tailor your answer to that.
Oh, for sure. The interviewer, they want to see your passion, your expertise, yeah.
Yeah.
They also want to know you're a learner, always keeping up with the latest tech and techniques.
Which brings us to question 2. Hold on, let me find it. Here we go. How do you stay up to date with new techniques and technologies in blacksmithing?
This is where you show them you're not just skilled, you're adaptable, you're excited to learn.
Yeah.
Have you been to any conferences, workshops, any books or websites you swear by? Maybe you tried out a new kind of forge or a cutting edge technique. I don't know. Share that with them, that journey of learning.
And this is another spot where RoleCatcher's AI comes in handy. Say the job description mentions they use a specific kind of software, right? The AI picks up on that. And it's like, hey, remember to mention your experience with that software.
See, it's about making those connections, showing you've done your homework. All right, so let's talk safety question 3. How do you ensure safety in your workplace?
Big one, right? Blacksmithing can be pretty demanding physically, and there are definitely risks.
Yeah.
This question's not about reciting the rule book. It's about showing them you get the risks and you're proactive about safety.
Exactly. Tell them about your safety routine, how you inspect your tools, how you set up your workspace. What about handling hot metal or operating machinery? Any special techniques there? Maybe you even came up with your own safety measure that goes above and beyond. I don't know.
And it's good to mention how you stay informed about the latest safety recommendations, too. RoleCatcher's Career Guide, they actually list some blacksmithing associations that provide safety training and resources. Mentioning those, it shows you're serious about creating a safe environment for yourself and others.
Yeah, it shows that safety is a priority for you, not just something you think about when someone's inspecting you. Speaking of priorities, let's move on to question 4. This one's about juggling. How do you prioritize your workload when you have multiple projects going on?
Oh, this is all about organization, time management. How do you keep all the balls in the air? Do you have a system for deadlines, tracking progress? Maybe you break big tasks into smaller steps or use visuals like a whiteboard or something.
However you do it, the point is to show them you can handle the pressure, meet those deadlines, and still deliver quality work.
And guess what? RoleCatcher's AI can actually give you feedback on this. It'll tell you if you're communicating your time management skills in a way that matches the job description.
It's like having a coach in your corner, helping you refine those answers. Present yourself in the best light.
All right, so question 5. This one's about the process. Can you walk me through your process for creating a custom piece?
This is your chance to take them on the whole journey, from the initial idea to the finished piece. How do you get information from the client? Sketches, designs, choosing materials. The whole fabrication process. Highlight your attention to detail, problem solving, how you work with clients to make their vision reality.
And I was just thinking about that part in the RoleCatcher guide. They mentioned that blacksmiths, on average, they need a good chunk of on-the-job training. So this question's a great spot to show them you're eager to learn, that you're a team player.
It's showing them you're not just skilled, you're also willing to learn and be part of a team. Which brings us to question 6, and this one digs a bit deeper. How do you handle difficult or complex projects?
I mean, everyone faces those, right? It's about showing them you're resilient, resourceful, and you can think on your feet.
So pick a project that really pushed you to the limit. Tell them about it. What obstacles did you hit? How did you approach the problem? What steps did you take?
And don't be afraid to get into the nitty-gritty. Did you consult with someone more experienced, research old techniques? The interviewer, they want to see that problem solving in action.
And it's not just about the solution itself, it's the path you took to get there. That's what they're interested in.
And RoleCatcher's AI, it can really help you connect your experience to the job requirements here. The AI can actually analyze the job description and spot potential challenges for that specific role. Then it can help you tailor your answer to show that you've handled similar stuff before.
Like having a crystal ball, huh? Gives you a peek into the future of the role, helps you prep for the challenges.
That's a great way to put it. You know what? Let's take a quick pause here. When we come back, we'll tackle the rest of those questions and keep weaving in those insights from RoleCatcher. Got to make sure you're ready to ace that interview.
Absolutely. Can't wait to dive back in.
Okay, so we're back, ready to tackle the next batch of interview questions. And this one, it's all about learning from those, well, let's call them learning experiences, shall we? Can you tell me about a time when you had to troubleshoot a problem in your work?
Yeah, everyone messes up sometimes. It's part of the process, especially in a craft like blacksmithing. There's always something to learn. It's all about how you handle it. That's what really matters. This is your chance to show them how you analyze things, how you learn from those setbacks.
Exactly, so don't shy away from it. Think of a time you hit a snag in your work, a real problem, maybe a piece warped during quenching, or a design just didn't translate from the sketch to the forge. Take them through it step by step. How'd you figure out the problem? What were the possible causes? How'd you fix it?
Get specific, Did you have to talk to someone more experienced, research old techniques, maybe experiment with different material? They want to see your thought process, how you approach those tricky situations.
And you know what? RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful here too. It can actually analyze the job description and tell you what troubleshooting skills might be super important for that specific role. Like, say the job involves a lot of restoration work. The AI might suggest you talk about a time you had to troubleshoot a problem with a historical piece. Shows you know your stuff about traditional techniques and can handle those curveballs.
Right. It's not just about the technical skills. It's about showing them you can think outside the box when things go wrong.
Totally. Okay, moving on. Question 8. How do you ensure that your work meets quality standards?
This one's all about your commitment to excellence, that attention to detail. Blacksmithing isn't just about making something that works. It's got to be beautiful, durable, made to last, right? So how do you make sure that happens?
Do you inspect every piece you make? Use special tools or techniques to keep things consistent and accurate. Maybe you have a certain philosophy, a set of rules you always stick to.
This is where you get to show off your passion for the craft, your dedication to making work you're proud of. And, it ties in with what RoleCatcher was saying in their career guide. There's a growing demand for custom, handcrafted stuff. People are willing to pay for quality. So showing that commitment to excellence, that's key.
Absolutely. All right, question 9. What is your experience with working with different types of metals?
Time to show off how versatile you are, how well you know your materials. Everyone knows steel's the most common metal in blacksmithing, but there's a whole world of other metals out there, each with their own quirks and challenges.
So have you worked with iron, copper, bronze, maybe even precious metals? Talk about the techniques you've used for each one, the challenges you've faced. Maybe you even have a favorite metal to work with, why you enjoy it.
And guess what? RoleCatcher's AI can lend a hand here too. If the job description mentions a specific metal they use a lot, the AI is going to flag that. It'll even suggest you highlight your experience with that metal, even if it wasn't your first thought. It's all about tailoring your answer to what they're looking for.
It's like having a cheat sheet.
Right.
Gives you that extra edge. Okay, last question from RoleCatcher's guide. And this one's a little different. It's not so much about the technical stuff, more about how you work with others. How do you handle feedback or criticism from clients or colleagues?
Oh, that's a big one. You got to be able to handle that in any collaborative environment. In blacksmithing, you're often working closely with clients, making their ideas come to life. And sometimes their vision might clash with your own artistic ideas, or maybe a more experienced blacksmith gives you some tough feedback.
So how do you deal with that? It's about showing them you're mature, professional, and willing to learn.
So, share a time when you got feedback that was hard to take. How'd you handle it? Did you try to see things from their point of view? Did you use it as a chance to improve? They want to see that you're open to feedback and that you can use it to grow.
And this ties in with what RoleCatcher said about mentorship and collaboration, remember. Blacksmithing might seem like a solo gig, but it often thrives on sharing knowledge and supporting each other.
Exactly. Showing you can take feedback and use it, that shows you're committed to improving, to working with others.
Okay, so we've covered all 10 questions from RoleCatcher's interview guide and sprinkled in some gems from their career guide, too. Now let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture for blacksmithing careers.
Yeah, let's talk about the job outlook, the different specialties you can focus on, what's shaping the future of this ancient craft, all that good stuff.
Okay, so let's talk numbers, right? Job outlook. RoleCatcher, they're projecting a 3% growth for blacksmiths over the next 10 years.
3%, huh?
Yeah, no, you might be thinking 3%. That's not exactly a booming industry.
Yeah, not exactly Silicon Valley, right?
Right, but here's the thing. That 3%, it represents steady demand for skilled blacksmiths. In a world where everything's mass-produced, that's kind of significant.
Totally. And you know what's really interesting? People are really starting to value those unique, handcrafted things again. They want quality. They want to see the craftsmanship, that connection to the person who made it. And that's where blacksmiths, you guys have a real edge.
It's like this whole revival of traditional crafts. It's opening up all these new doors for blacksmiths, especially those who are willing to adapt, try new things. And speaking of trying new things, let's talk about specialization. RoleCatcher really highlights this.
Oh, yeah. Blacksmithing's not just one thing anymore. There are so many ways to carve out your own niche.
Like ornamental ironwork, that's super popular right now.
Yeah.
Homeowners, architects, they're all about those unique, elegant touches.
Yeah, you see that everywhere these days.
And don't forget bladesmithing. That's exploded recently, haven't you noticed? All those shows like Forged in Fire, people are fascinated by historical weapons and techniques.
It's amazing how pop culture can breathe new life into something as old as blacksmithing.
Right. And if you're into a certain type of metal or a specific historical period, you could really go deep. Become a go-to expert in that area.
That's the way to do it. Find what you love and become the best at it.
Exactly. In RoleCatcher's guide, they actually feature some profiles of blacksmiths who've done just that. They built these amazing careers by specializing architectural metalwork, historical restoration, even making custom tools for other artisans. That's pretty cool.
So many possibilities.
So here we are. We've gone through the interview questions, dug into RoleCatcher's career guide, and even talked about the big picture. What's the takeaway? What should our listeners do next?
Well, you've got RoleCatcher's AI. That's a huge advantage. That thing can analyze job descriptions, help you write your resume and cover letter, even give you feedback on your interview answers. It's like having your own personal career coach right there in your pocket.
Exactly. So use it.
And as you go through this process, remember, never stop learning. The world of blacksmithing, it's always changing, so keep up with new techniques, experiment with materials, find mentors, find people to collaborate with, keep pushing yourself.
It's all about that passion, the dedication, the willingness to, embrace the challenges and the rewards. Creating something truly unique, that's what it's all about.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, we hope this deep dive has given you the tools and the confidence to forge that amazing blacksmithing career. Good luck out there. We're rooting for you.
Yeah, best of luck. Go get 'em.